welcome to another episode of Rich Talks BS. Sports has been crazy, a lot of talks in the NFL, of course. The NBA is big right now, especially with the play-in tournament coming up and everybody trying to figure out, who's going to be in what spot from the 7 to the 10. It's already starting to pan out who pretty much is going to be in it. We've already got some teams, a couple teams, few teams that's already, have their place in the play-in tournament, just trying to see where everyone else is going to place. It's been crazy. It's been fun, unexpected, wins, unexpected losses. Of course, that's always going to be, and with this play-in tournament, it's making the end of the season more interesting, is making the end of the season more entertaining and more exciting. Watching those games and looking at how, certain teams are playing with each other, certain teams playing against other teams, and, possibly teams that they could be facing in the actual playoffs. Right now, if the play-in tournament was to end today, or if the play-in tournament was to start today, starting in the East, you got the Celtics at 7, the Hornets at 8, the Pacers at 9, and the Wizards at 10. So you got the Celtics and the Hornets who would play, and then the Pacers and the Wizards who would play. Coming from the 7 and 8 teams, so it'd be 7-8 versus 9-10. The winner of the 7-8 game would actually be the 7th seed, and then the loser of that game would actually play the winner of the 9-10 game, and then the winner of that would actually take over the 8th seed. The way the East is looking, Celtics have been up and down, and it seems like more down than up this season. They've been, filled with injuries, losing key players. Jaylen Brown is gone. Kemba's been in and out. And Jason Tatum, he can't do it by himself. Marcus Smart's been out. And the Celtics team is just, looks like they're just deteriorating as the end of the season comes near. Everyone's got like one more game left. So, the Celtics, still holding that 7th seed. They actually play the Timberwolves, and they shouldn't take that game. They should take that game seriously, especially to stay at the 7th seed if they want to have a chance to only play one game and get into the playoffs. Minnesota is not a team to take lightly at this, kind of like around this time right now. The way they've been playing, they've been on the up. Cat's been playing good, and they're kind of finding their rhythm, but they found it at the end of the season. Now, playing the Hornets is a different story. The Hornets are good. They're really good. They're really young. LaMelo is, leading this team, who's actually, looks like is gonna actually win Rookie of the Year. Rozier's been good. PJ's been good. They just have a lot of key and role players who's coming together, and they're playing really good, and they're young. So they got time to, got more time for the more chemistry. They have more time to play together, see who's, and would have a good chance. And I would actually have them beating the Celtics to move up into the 7th seed. Pacers, Wizards, kind of the same thing with the Wizards. Wizards have been up and up and up, coming from, being last in the league and having a long losing streak. Russ coming in and going crazy, breaking Oscar Robertson's record of most triple doubles in a career. He just posted another one last night, and it's going to be a real good game for them, especially against the Pacers. If they can have Bradley Beal playing, then that's going to be even better. So with Beal and Westbrook playing, they have a good chance to beat the Pacers, and then to go ahead and take out the Celtics too. So, I've got the Hornets and the Wizards coming in. Hornets coming in at the 7th seed, Wizards coming in on the 8th seed for the East. For the West, you got the Lakers at 7, the Warriors at 8, Grizzlies at 9, and the Spurs at 10. Like I said, still waiting even to the last game to see who's going to be placed where. The Lakers and the Blazers are actually the two teams left who could switch spots. The Lakers could move up into the 6th, and the Blazers could, move down into the play-in tournament, depending on if they can win their last game. The Lakers their last game is actually against the Pacers, and I'm pretty sure they can win that game. The way this squad has been playing together, even the way they've been playing together without LeBron and AD, coming together. These role players are coming together. Like THT, he's been playing really good, and Kuz's been stepping up. Andre Drummond's been playing better. He's getting minutes. He's getting time on the court, which is really good, especially coming into this playoffs. And especially coming into the play-in game if it started today, which they would have the Warriors. I think they would be able to take out the Warriors. I've been saying it, for the past month or so, that if you play the Warriors in the play-in, you're in trouble. I think the Lakers will be okay. LeBron and AD will play in that play-in game. And if they're there, they're going to win. So going into the 7th seed, into the playoffs, it'll be interesting to see what the Lakers can do at a 7th seed. But at the same time, AD and LeBron hasn't really been playing. So again, with them two playing healthy, and the way this Lakers team has been on the up, and the way they've been coming together to play better, and possibly with Schroeder coming back too, we could see a 7th seed win it all. Like I said, if they're healthy, they're going to win. That's been the talks all over. If, when they're asking who's coming out of the West. Well, if LeBron and AD is healthy, the Lakers. Still, with me, the same way. If LeBron and AD is healthy, the Lakers are coming out of the West. So the Grizzlies and Spurs game, the 9-10 game, that's going to be really good too. The Spurs are okay. Grizzlies are good. It's going to be interesting to see who would actually come out on in that game. And I believe the Spurs can pass the Grizzlies. So it's going to be really good. It's going to be kind of interesting. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people really looking at that game, but just to see who's going to win that game. So it's going to be interesting. This play-in tournament is going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining, and I can't wait. So that's it's just going to be good. It's just going to make good playoff. It's just going to make good postseason for the NBA. Going into the awards, Jokic has been playing crazy. For sure MVP. Have played every game. Has been, showing out every game, posting MVP numbers. And I mean, it's just, there's so many other good players out there, but Joker has been staying healthy and plays every game. He's played every game this season. He's been healthy all season. So, like I said, there's other great players out there who could deserve the MVP. Like Harden, for example, but he's missed too many games. So it is, the MVP race is interesting because you have to play a certain amount of games, or you can't miss a certain amount of games, and still post up these numbers. And Jokic has been doing that. Hasn't missed a game, puts up numbers every night, helping this Nuggets team into the playoffs, and it's just good basketball. Defensive Player of the Year has been between Gobert and Ben Simmons. Everybody's saying Gobert, but don't be surprised if Ben Simmons sneaks in and wins Defensive Player of the Year. For me, if it was my vote, it would go to Ben Simmons. You know, Ben Simmons has great defense. Don't get me wrong, Gobert has great defense too, but Gobert can't guard the 1. Gobert can't guard the 2. Ben Simmons can guard the 1 through 5. When you have a player who can guard 1 through 5 and be a threat on the offensive end if he wanted to, which he could, then, you know, that's your defensive player of the year. You know, Ben's been playing really good. He's just, his defense is just off the charts. His defense is elite. And, you know, like I said, to guard the 1 through 5, that's something good. That's something, you know, that's something great. And then, of course, Rookie of the Year, like I said, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo's going to win Rookie of the Year. You know, he's shown me something that I wanted to see out of him, that I expected to see out of him, and that was be a great player his rookie year. Put up numbers, help lead your team, help your team to, you know, a winning season. And at the same time, now, you know, you're sitting in the play-in tournament, which you could possibly, you know, get into the 7th seed, which most likely is going to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see that. But if they get to that 7th seed, then they have the Nets. That's going to be a different story. So, you know, kind of excited to see the Hornets, you know, in the postseason. Actually, to play in any stats that's accumulated in the playing season is not going towards regular season or postseason. They're actually going to have their own stats, which is kind of interesting. So that's going to be something else, you know, that's going to have a play into who can come out of the play-in tournament down the line, you know, down in the future. But right now, these are new stats, and they're going to have their own stats. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what the Hornets can do. It's going to be interesting to see what LaMelo can do, you know, when it's a do or die. It's, you know, so. But if you lose, you still got another chance to get into the 8, which if you get into the 8 spot, because if you could beat the winner of the Pacers Wizards and get into the 8 seed, you still got the Sixers. So it's not like you have the easy road ahead of you when you're winning out the play-in tournament. The NFL, of course, announced it, you know, the 17-game season. The 17th game, the extra game that's actually going to be added into the season, is going to be the AFC versus NFC. And to start it out, the AFC is going to be home this season. So they're going to rotate seasons, the extra game, you know. So all AFC teams are, you know, going to be at home this year. So the schedule release, you know, was earlier this week. You know, people were excited. You know, teams had their own presentation of their schedule release. Of course, you know, I watched my Cowboys, you know, with Jerry Jones and Post Malone. That was fun. That was entertaining. You know, Jerry is Jerry. And then, you know, to have Post in there with him and, you know, actually have him delivering the schedule, you know, that was fun. If you haven't seen the video, even if you're not a Cowboy fan, I'm pretty sure you've heard it. You've heard about the video. You've probably caught it. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. You know, it's a little entertaining. Cowboy haters, of course, are going to be like, oh, that was too much, or, you know, they're just going to have something negative to say. So what? But, you know, it was entertaining. It was fun. I liked it, of course. But the schedule release, week 1 is going to be good, especially opening night. Opening night, we will have the Cowboys at the Bucks. The first game of the season. September 9th, Thursday night. I can't wait. I'm actually excited about that game. You know, it's not like it's a game that I don't want to have, or it's not a team that I don't want to see. I do want to see the Bucks. I want to put my team to the test against the, you know, reigning Super Bowl champs. Yeah, they brought back all 22 players. Good. That's good. You know, never been done before. That's good. But Dak is going to be great. Dak is on his revenge tour, and Tampa just have to be the first victim. The defense is going to be good. Dan Quinn is going to make sure this defense is good. Dan Quinn is going to revive this defense. Dak is coming back, and we have all our key, we have our key players from CD to, Coop, Zeke, and it's going to be fun. This game is going to be fun. This game is going to be entertaining. I can't wait to see it. I'm from this day to game night, I'm going to have Dallas winning that game. So make sure you guys watch it. Of course, a lot of people are going to be watching it. First game of the season, kicking off the season. So another key matchup in week 1 is the Browns at the Chiefs. So now we got this rematch from the playoffs last season. Browns and Chiefs. Of course, Chiefs came out on top. Browns just got stuck in the game. This defense is better. This defense is not going to sit around and let the Chiefs just take over the game and win. This defense is really going to show what they've done in the offseason, and they're going to show, what they can do, especially against a team like Mahomes and the Chiefs. The offense, of course, they have OBJ coming back, which is good. That they were actually doing good without him, but with him coming back, they're going to do even better. Baker is going to be good. Baker is still going to be Baker. Baker is going to show you he can be and will be an elite quarterback. Watch out for Baker this year. He's going to put up numbers. The Browns is going to, win. Their Browns are going to be a winning team. They're going to make the postseason. So I can't wait to see that game either. So Browns Chiefs is going to be a good game. Some other games that that I've noted was in week 4 we got Brady and the Patriots. So we got Brady at the Patriots. Brady's first game, against Belichick since leaving. We know how that's going to end. Whether it's Cam or Mac Jones at quarterback at that point, which most likely is going to be Cam because, it's week 4. But, it's Brady is going to be in a shootout with himself, and the defense is just going to pretty much just take out this New England offense. So the only reason why is interesting is because it's Brady's return to New England. Other than that, this game is probably not going to be, that close. Another one, week 5, AFC rematch, the AFC Championship rematch, Bills at Chiefs. The Bills have gotten a little bit better in the postseason, in the offseason. The Chiefs, worked on their offensive line. Their offensive line looks really good after the pickups, in this offseason. That's going to be a really good game, and we're going to see, if it's going to be a result of what happened in the AFC Championship game, or, can the Bills show that, hey, we're here, we're not afraid of you, we can stop you, we can beat you. So that's going to be good to see too. And then week 9, Packers at Chiefs. It's only going to be interesting if Aaron Rodgers is still there, which the Packers look like they're not going to budge, which is still early. Everyone's still talking about, Aaron Rodgers moving, trading and getting traded. And we're going to see how that's actually going to happen, if it's going to happen. Where is he going to go? So if Aaron Rodgers is still there, then that's going to be a really good game, week 9. Just to see, that could have possibly been the Super Bowl this last season. And it's just going to be a really good game. Aaron Rodgers versus Mahomes is always going to be a game that people are going to want to watch. But that's if he's still with Green Bay. So moving on to baseball, power rankings came out earlier this week. Got the Red Sox at 1, the Giants at 2, the White Sox at 3, Padres at 4, and the A's at 5. And those teams have been playing really good. White Sox, their pitching has been great. They've been really good. La Russa, is bringing this team back. They look like a La Russa team, and it's the White Sox are good. You know, watch out for the White Sox later on in the year. If their pitchers keep pitching the way they've been pitching, they're gonna be a threat. The Padres, of course, you know, Padres are still on the up. You know, Tatis is still playing good. Their pitchers are great. Musgrove is, you know, just ace of aces. You know, Musgrove is just a really good pitcher, and that's someone you don't want to see when you're, you know, in the postseason or trying to get into the postseason. Red Sox, offensively, incredible. Defense is great. You know, this is a team pitchers don't want to see. You know, of course, pitchers are going to step up. They're going to, you know, feel confident in pitching against this Red Sox lineup. But this Red Sox team is nothing to take lightly. You know, they've been hitting and hitting and hitting. JD Martinez has been, you know, great. He's showing, you know, that the last season was just, you know, it was rushed. You know, you couldn't have gotten a lot done or gotten into a rhythm with how last season happened. Of course, you know, pandemic and everything shortened the season. So players really couldn't get into a rhythm to actually, you know, like as if they were in a regular season. But yeah, JD's been playing great. Devers is kind of coming up. Bogarts has been, you know, on a streak. He's finally catching his rhythm. And the pitchers, like you've got like Pavetta sitting, you know, who's undefeated. You've got Rodriguez, who's undefeated. You know, the pitchers are great. The relievers are great, and then even coming down to the closer, you know, it's just they're a good team, you know. So to actually, like, you have to really be elite this season to beat the Red Sox. Red Sox, you know, are not going to sweep every series if they're in a 3-game or a 4-game series, you know, during the regular season. You know, it's really hard to sweep a series. They just played against the A's, who's sitting at 5 in the power rankings, but beat them 3 out of the 4. And speaking of the A's are good. You know, this Oakland team is good. They're coming up. They've been on the up, and their pitching is good too. So that's another team to look out for. The Yankees, you know, of course, had this slow start, this rough start to earlier in the season, and now they're on the up. You know, their team has been coming up. Their hitters have been, you know, hitting pretty good. Pitching is getting better, and the Yankees are starting to look like the Yankees. You know, they're sitting at number 8 in the power rankings, but they're starting to look like the Yankees again. So, you know, can't wait to see that matchup. Of course, the Red Sox and Yankees matchup. Can't wait for that one to come up to see if the Yankees can step up to the test of this powerful Red Sox team. You know, baseball, like I said, if you haven't been watching it, catch it, because there's a lot of offense going on this year. There's a lot of runs. There's a lot of hits. And one player in particular that I've been, you know, I've had my eye on him for past couple seasons, but this season, I'm really like, attention is all on this, not all on this one player, but is mostly on this one player, just because of what he can do and the way he's been used. And that's Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is Showtime Ohtani. Showtime Ohtani. That's what I'm gonna call it, because he's a pitcher who can hit. He's a pitcher who can hit home runs. His pitching is getting better. His pitching is getting way better. It's just excelling as the season is moving on, and that's good. You know, he's a good pitcher. He's a starting pitcher. But when he gets behind the plate and he gets behind the bat, watch out, because this guy can hit. And not only can he hit, he can hit home runs. Like, he's up in the leaderboard in home runs this season as a pitcher. You know, we've never seen that in our lifetime. But baseball hasn't seen that since Babe Ruth. That's a very long time to see a pitcher who can hit the ball as good as Ohtani, as good as Babe Ruth. Like, come on, we're comparing Ohtani to Babe Ruth because we haven't seen a player like this since Babe Ruth, who was pitching and hitting home runs. The home run king was also pitching. You know, back in that time, the home run king was pitching. You know, who arguably is the greatest player ever to play baseball. And now we're seeing this in Ohtani. But can he do it for the rest of his career? That's the question. And the way he's been playing it, and the way he's been, playing, it looks like he could. He could extend that into, throughout his career, pitching and hitting. Even on nights or in games that he's not pitching, they have him in the outfield or at first base. Ohtani is not leaving the bat. So if he's not pitching, of course he's going to be hitting. So even in the games he's pitching, he's still in the lineup hitting. And like I said, it's look out for Ohtani. He could win the MVP this year. And it's just good baseball. So like I said, if you haven't been watching baseball, you don't really have to actually catch up on it. Just jump into it. You'll catch up as the season goes on from there. So, baseball has been really good. It's been fun, entertaining. So like I said, check it out. If you haven't checked it out, check out a couple of games. You just try to, just watch who maybe who you used to watch, or watch, some of these teams that's in the top 10, catch a Blue Jays game or catch an Astros game, so it's just baseball. Baseball is fun. It's getting better. Well, that's all the BS I have for this episode. Until next time.